How does ocean acidification affect coral reefs? Right now, ocean acidification may not seem like a problem, but in the next several decades, humans will start to notice some big changes. Ocean acidification is just like it sounds. It is the decrease in pH of the Earth's oceans. Ocean acidification started happening during the Industrial Revolution around the 1800s. After the Industrial Revolution, more CO2 was being produced and going into our atmosphere. Burning fossil fuels for cars, electricity, factories, and many more things are contributors to the production of CO2. The oceans absorb more than 25% of the CO2 in our atmosphere, meaning it is the world's largest carbon sink. As this happens, the ocean gets warmer and absorbs less CO2. When the ocean absorbs CO2, it reacts with the water to produce hydrogen ions and bicarbonate. The hydrogen ions are what is causing the ocean to acidify. Before the Industrial Revolution, the pH of the ocean was 8.2, but due to the production of hydrogen ions, it is now 8.1. This may not seem like a lot, but just think about how much water there is. The ocean is still alkaline, but it is getting closer to an acid. Now, how does this acidification affect coral reefs? Well, sea creatures like clams, oysters, and coral need calcium carbonate. The problem is, when there are hydrogen ions, they bond with the carbonate instead of the calcium. Therefore, the coral, clams, and oysters can't get the food they need. This can cause them to be smaller, weaker, and their population will decrease. This and the rising in temperature can kill the coral and make it turn gray. As we know, if one thing gets affected, then the rest of the food chain will too. Fish eat clams and oysters and live in coral reefs. If the fish can't get enough food, they will decrease in population and get smaller. This will also affect the rest of the food chain, like sharks, octopi, turtles, and many more. Currently, our ocean also produces 50% of our planet's oxygen. As there are fewer organisms in the ocean, it will produce less oxygen, which will make the acidification worse. But how does all of this affect humans? 1 in 7 people get most of their protein from seafood. Can you imagine more than 1 billion people without a sustainable source of protein? Fishing companies around the world are already seeing the impacts of ocean acidification. They are catching less and smaller fish. It is estimated that by the end of the century, clams and oysters supply could fall by 50%. The seafood industry as a whole could lose more than $230 million. But we as humans, what can we do to stop or slow down ocean acidification? To start off, we have to remember what causes ocean acidification: burning fossil fuels. To cut down on fossil fuels, we can use electric cars, eat less meat, find cleaner and renewable sources of energy, like solar panels. So the next time you're doing something that's burning fossil fuels that's not necessary, just think about what the ocean does for you. The ocean produces half of the air you breathe. It gives us food and helps us stop climate change. Stop burning fossil fuels and help stop ocean acidification.